India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Thursday met his Maldivian counterpart Musa Zamir on the margins of the NAM summit in Uganda's Kampala, I beg your pardon. And the two leaders had a frank conversation on ties between the two countries. They also discussed non-aligned movement-related issues. On his part, the Maldivian foreign minister said that the two sides exchanged views on the ongoing high-level discussions on the withdrawal of Indian military personnel, as well as expediting the completion of ongoing development projects in Maldives and cooperation with SAARC and NAM. He said that both sides are committed to furthering the strengthening of their relationship and expanding their cooperation. And back home, the MEA spokesperson earlier, Randir Jaiswal, had said that India and the Maldives held talks for a mutually workable solution to ensure the continued operation of Indian aviation platforms that are providing humanitarian services. He added that during a core group meeting, both countries discussed various aspects of the bilateral relationship.
Regarding Maldives, Siddhant, you would have seen that on 14th we had a meeting of the core group. In the core group, we had detailed discussions on several aspects of the bilateral relationship. We also made available what was discussed in the meeting through a press release. And then in that press release, we mentioned that both sides held discussions on finding mutually workable solution to enable continued operation of Indian aviation platforms that provide humanitarian and medevac services to the people of Maldives. The next meeting is to be held in India to take discussion forward. Regarding projects in Maldives, obviously the core group meeting happened on 14th. On our part, we remain committed to our projects to take them forward. We have been an important development partner of Maldives. We remain committed to doing all things that we can do as a development partner of Maldives in keeping with their priorities.
The EAM, Dr. S. Jaishankar, also met counterparts from Angola, Belarus and Egypt. He held a good meeting with the Angolan Foreign Minister, Ambassador Tete Antonio, and the two leaders discussed the expanding India-Angola and India-Africa cooperation. They also spoke about cooperation in multilateral fora. Jaishankar thanked Antonio for extending a visa-free arrangement for Indian nationals. Dr. Jaishankar held a useful meeting with Belarusian Foreign Minister Sergei Elenik. The two leaders exchanged views on India-Belarus cooperation in various fields. They also discussed developments pertaining to the Ukraine conflict. Dr. Jaishankar also expressed delight to meet the Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry, and he appreciated Sameh's assessment and insights on the ongoing conflict in Gaza. They also noted the continued progress of bilateral cooperation following the exchanges of visits of the leaders of the two countries in 2023. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will lead an Indian delegation at the 19th summit of the Non-Aligned Movement, that's NAM, in Kampala. And the two-day NAM summit will begin today in Uganda's capital, Kampala. And the 19th NAM summit, it's going to focus on deepening cooperation for shared global affluence, and will bring together more than 120 developing countries. The summit will be preceded by deliberations at the ministerial and senior official levels. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate a state-of-the-art Boeing India Engineering and Technology Center campus in Bengaluru today. The 43-acre campus is Boeing's biggest or largest such investment outside the U.S. And Boeing's new India campus is going to be developed. It's going to help develop the next generation of products and services for the global aerospace and defense industry.
With an aim to grow as a globally competitive supplier base in India, U.S. aerospace giant Boeing's expansion and investment in India is all set for a new chapter. This new facility at Aerospace Park at Devanahalli on the outskirts of India's IT capital city Bengaluru will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself. Boeing will co-partner with India to execute high-quality advanced aerospace projects. This facility will support in providing required engineering expertise to Boeing's defense, space and commercial sectors. BIETC will play an important role in co-development of initiatives for Indian Defence Forces. The facility will leverage labs and state-of-the-art technology such as AI, IOA, for collaborations with India. It is also expected to generate jobs for the people in the vicinity.
We have a huge presence both on the commercial as well as on the defense and services side in India. We are a leading partner of India on the aerospace sector. Getting the Honorable Prime Minister here is as iconic as the building itself and much bigger than that, I would say. We all are getting excited and looking forward to hosting the Prime Minister to inaugurate this facility tomorrow.
Boeing's presence in India is stretched across various collaborations like MROs, GSC, and building a steady supply chain for the aircrafts manufactured by the company. Boeing has a long-standing journey in defense sector in India. Indo-US enhanced partnership has led to Boeing and India working closely, where Boeing has offered its defense equipments for Indian Defense Forces. Boeing's C-17 Globemaster IIIS has proven to be the backbone of the Indian force and deployed in crucial and successful operations by India during the evacuation of Indians from Ukraine war and also during the COVID medical delivery operations. The custom-made Boeing B777 VVIP aircraft is used by President, Vice President and the Prime Minister of India for international visits.
This is where I think the next leap forward of the aerospace sector will start from. This is what it signifies. This is where India is going to take the next leap forward, in my opinion, in the aerospace sector. The vision, the dreams of several thousand people.
India's commercial market is expected to be the third largest in the world by 2041. Boeing forecasts India's carriers will need 2,200 new planes over the next 20 years. That will be a focus area for the company as well. Boeing's commercial expansion plans, also in line with the growing demand for aircrafts with India, create an infrastructure and network for facilitating flight connectivity across the country. On Thursday, Boeing won an order for 150 MAX jets from India's newest airline at Wings Aerospace Expo.
Atmanirbhar is all about self-reliant India. It's all about making for India and making for the world. Yeah. The engineers are an extremely talented bunch of engineers sitting here, and we are very, very hopeful that what they are going to, today they work on very, very mission critical programs, and all that they do is to make sure that flying is safe. All that they do is to ensure that India is shining, because the products that you see for Boeing across the world, that engineering works happened right here in this development center.
Prime Minister will also launch the Boeing Sukanya program that aims to support the entry of more girl children from across India into the country's growing aviation sector. The program will provide opportunities for girls and women from across India to learn critical skills in the science, technology, engineering and math fields and train for jobs in the aviation sector.
Till now, Boeing has always occupied the largest square meter area at India's biannual and Asia's largest aerospace exhibition, Aero India. But now, with this facility taking off, Boeing gives wings to a new and strong partnership with India's aligned vision of self-reliance in aerospace sector. Aisha Khanam, DD India, Bangalore.
And DD India correspondent Aisha Khanam now joins us with more from Bengaluru. Aisha, this is going to be, this is at Devanahalli, that's close to the airport. So how will it develop the fast expanding city?
Well, absolutely, Mark. This is going to be a big, a chain in the development of the IT city as such. Now, this is going to be the largest camp outside US. So, Boeing hopes that this campus will be the avionics hub for Boeing's for Boeing India, and also help it manufacture and develop its supply chain globally. So this is a Make in India initiative. This is the Atmanirbhar initiative in align with India's policy. So in the last 10 decades, the investments by Boeing has gone up in India, and it is estimated that the supply chain will be up to $20 million. So therefore, this is a huge opportunity for Boeing to invest in India, and this is the time when India has opened up for ease of doing business, and this is the time wherein Boeing will also look at hiring the local talents from India. Now remember,
Yes.
Bangalore is the Silicon Valley of India. So with this center coming up, there is expectation that the large number of engineers, the avionic engineers, the aerospace engineers, will work closely with Boeing. So this is going to be a big hub for Boeing India, and it will also add to its capacity building and supply chain globally.
Aisha, what are the key products that this facility will produce, also apart from that research? But you know, the key aspect also is about the supply chain requirements. Where are they going to be sourced from local companies, one would think?
Well, this is going to be an innovative center. This is going to have labs for innovation and research. Now, with the advancement of technology like Internet of Things, AI, so this is going to be more advanced center wherein Boeing India will look into adding to develop their own technology to further advance their technology and give new wings to the existing fleet. So Boeing India already has several other facilities working across the country, like in Hyderabad, there is Apache fuselage manufacturing unit. And here now, with this engineering unit, Boeing India will look at developing new technology and advanced technology for the benefit of aviation sector. And also this center, which is very important, is the CSR activity that is going to be started by Boeing India, is the induction of the girl child motivation program, Sukanya. This is going to help the girl child, fulfill her dreams of becoming pilot, of becoming aerospace engineers and aviation experts. So from here, their dreams will be given shape, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with several young students who will be at the Boeing Center when Prime Minister visits to inaugurate this.
We leave it there. Thank you very much, Aisha Khanam, for joining us from Bengaluru. Still to come here on DD India News Hour. The first glimpse of the Ram Lala idol inside Ayodhya Temple Sanctum Sanctorum is revealed. And the Indian diaspora organizes a car rally in Cincinnati in the United States, expressing the spirit and excitement of Lord Ram's consecration ceremony. And also catch a glimpse of Republic Day parade rehearsal underway in New Delhi ahead of the important day.
We have reached here, this place, Makhoda Dham.
मख माने जो है यज्ञ होता है, तो इसी जगह पे जब दशरथ जी महाराज के पास जब कोई पुत्र नहीं था, तो चौथे पन में दशरथ जी महाराज ने इसी भूमि पे पुत्रेष्टि कामा यज्ञ किए थे।
अयोध्या में सभी तरफ भी राम है। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे।
Divine meets divinity in Ayodhya. This is Mani Parvat.
ये वो स्थल है जब मां जानकी जी विवाह होकर श्री अयोध्या जी पधारी, अपार धन वैभव ऐश्वर्य दिया श्री जनक जी महाराज ने कि हमारी बिटिया खूब सुख समृद्ध रहेगी।
सीता राम नाम कीर्तन।
एक कीर्तन है जो 12 साल का है, चलते रहेगा। 3.5 साल हो गया ये।
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Mark Lynn. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of multiple development projects in the western Indian city of Solapur. DD India's Yogesh Sheetal reports.
Nothing is more beautiful than a smile that has struggled through tears. These women are among the 15,000 families of Solapur district in the western state of Maharashtra, who will now be owners of the newly constructed flats under PM Awas Yojana.
आज हमारा पूरा सपना करने जा रहे हैं रेनगर में। देख के ऐसा दिल हमारा खुश हुआ कि पूछने की बात नहीं। क्या खुशी से क्या बोलेंगे क्या नहीं, ऐसा हमको समझ भी नहीं आ रहा।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया है हमारे को जो आज हमारा सपना पूरा करे। आज हमारा एक सपना था कि हम घर खरीदे सके, वो ये चारों ने और प्रधानमंत्री योजना से हमारे को मिले सर।
This housing project in Raynagar is not only the largest in the country, but also a success story of double engine ki sarkar in itself. According to Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority, that's MHADA, this greenfield project is a grand success under the scheme.
पंतप्रधान आवास योजना के अंतर्गत में रेनगर, शोलापुर, कुंभारी गांव में इस प्रकल्प की भूमि पूजन जो है वो माननीय पंतप्रधान जो हमारे हैं श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, इनके शुभ हस्ते 2019 में किया गया था। उसके बाद पूरा प्रक्रिया करने के बाद में ये चूंकि पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप में है तो उसका पूरा प्रस्ताव करने के बाद में CSMC का अप्रूवल लेने के बाद यहाँ पे टोटल 833 बिल्डिंग G+2 बनाने का प्रस्तावित था, जिसमें टोटल 30,000 घरे बनने वाले थे और अभी पहला टप्पा में 15,024 घर ये तैयार हो चुकी है। 411 बिल्डिंग तैयारी हो चुकी है और इसका लोकार्पण जो है वो 19 तारीख को हमारे देश के माननीय पंतप्रधान श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, इनके शुभ हस्ते हमारे राज्य के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री और दोनों ही उप मुख्यमंत्री इनके उपस्थिति में होने वाली है।
The Indian Prime Minister will also meet beneficiaries of PM Swanidhi Yojana and will lay foundation stone for water and sewage system project for 7 municipal corporations under Amrit Yojana.
स्टेट का तत्कालीन मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस, इन्होंने मन में कुछ नहीं रहते हुए ये स्कीम को आगे बढ़ाया। नुस्खा आगे बढ़ाया नहीं, अभी लोगों को मकान मिल रहा है। इतना बड़ा सरकार किया है, उनका ही मैं आभारी हूँ और उनके जरिए से प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी से उनका बहुत बार चर्चा हुआ, वो भी तैयार हुए। ऐसे 30,000 का मकान आज लोगों को जो मिल रहा है उससे पीछे का राज्य है।
According to last national census in 2011, Solapur has a population of 9,50,000. 80% of whom live in slum areas. The way Prime Minister Awas Yojana has aggressively been implemented in all over the country, it seems that the new census will bring a clear picture of new India. With my colleague Rohan Gavli, this is Yogesh Kumar Sheetal from Maharashtra for DD India.
And Yogesh Kumar Sheetal joins us now from Sholapur with more on this story. Yogesh, you know, the PM Awas Yojana truly fulfills the dreams of people who, you know, otherwise would never have an idea that they could own a home. Tell us a little bit about the kind of construction and the homes that are being provided.
A very good morning, Mark. You have rightly underlined that how Prime Minister Awas Yojana has in fact, shaped the new India. The dots are connected in new India, and we have seen in both aspects, Prime Minister Awas Yojana rural as well as Prime Minister PM Awas Yojana urban. These flats are constructed under PM Awas Yojana urban, where we know that the target has been set by December 2024. Unlike that rural, that is the target is. First, I would like to request my camera person to just give you a look. You can see this is the model house which are constructed. There are large buildings are constructed beside, in the back side of the frame. But this is the model house. You can see the solar panel has also been installed. Yesterday, I had a word with Sandeep Jaiswal, who is heading the MHADA, who has constructed the building. He was saying that the agency is trying their best to ensure that all the basic amenities are provided to the residents. At the same time, I would also like to tell you that PM is also laying foundation stone of a sewage system as well as water supply system and also other facilities that are under Amrit Yojana project, that is one of the flagship program of the NDA government. Now the thing is, a lot of things have already been done, and we had word with the beneficiaries. They are quite poor people. Most of them don't have jobs. More than 5,000 females belong to minority section, and they were when we were just having a word with them. they were clearly saying that they had no expectations. They had just lost all the hope that they would get their shelter, their home in the future. But the things have now been a success, now been possible, and that's the reason they are expected around 30,000, more than 30,000 people are expected to be together here to listen PM Modi. So this is going to be a big day for Maharashtra because this is also one of the largest housing projects in India. So a lot of things are expected today. At the same time, PM will also meet the beneficiary of PM Swanidhi Yojana. We have seen how in COVID-19 period the unorganized sector faced huge challenges to survive, and that's the reason multiple projects were started, and PM Swanidhi Yojana is one of those projects. So we can expect a big day today in terms of Solapur and also in terms of Maharashtra, western pocket of India. Yeah, Mark,
we'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Yogesh Sheetal joining us from Solapur. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Guarantee Ki Gadi is reaching all districts of the country, and it's also creating awareness in urban areas regarding the central government schemes. Meghna Gaurav for Kandivali in Mumbai talks about she's talking about her experience in Meri Kahani Meri Zabani. That's the ability to tell you about her own experience, and she benefited from various schemes including the PM Mudra. Let's listen to her.
Meghna Gaurav, a single parent, used to sell home-cooked food products on the footpath. She always felt the pinch as life was getting hard to live and selling was not enough. She gathered information of PM Mudra Yojana in 2016 and approached the bank for loan. Meghna then received a loan amount from Canara Bank.
मेरा कैटरिंग का व्यवसाय है. मेरे पास व्यवसाय के लिए मेरे पास पैसे नहीं थे, तो मैंने 2016 में मुद्रा का लोन लिया, जो कि प्रधान का तभी योजना आई थी, तो मैंने लोन लिया. वो लोन लेके मैंने मेरा व्यवसाय को आगे बढ़ाया, और मैं सिंगल मदर हूँ, मेरे 2 बच्चे हैं, तो मैं ये व्यवसाय की वजह से मैं मेरे बच्चों को भी पढ़ा पाई.
Meghna then started her catering business with the loan amount. With the business doing well, her income became stable and she was able to repay her loan in time. She also took an education loan to educate her children, and today one of her sons is studying hotel management abroad. Meghna also benefited from PM Swanidhi, PM Suraksha Bima Yojana, Atal Pension Yojana, among others. Meghna urges other women to take benefits of the various schemes which central government has implemented for the betterment of the society.
Now we get you all the buzz being generated in the build-up to the consecration of the Ram Temple at the temple town of Ayodhya on the 22nd of January. The first glimpse of the new idol of Lord Ram placed inside Ayodhya's Ram Temple on Thursday is out. It's made of black stone and it depicts the 5-year-old Ram in a standing posture. The face of the idol was covered with a veil. This comes days ahead of the grand consecration ceremony on January 22nd. And today marks the 5th day of the rituals in the run-up to the consecration of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya. Various events are being organized across the country in honor of the consecration ceremony of the temple in Ayodhya. A vibrant laser show too was organized in the western Indian state of Gujarat. The laser show projects pictures of Lord Ram, and it was organized in Surat. Security has been tightened in and around Ayodhya in view of the consecration ceremony of the temple, and the Uttar Pradesh government is using drones for better surveillance of the city. Amid the intensive checking, Ayodhya's anti-terrorism squad detained 3 suspicious individuals. According to the officials, that is, the suspects are being interrogated. They further said that no connection with any terrorist organization has come to light as yet. And Siddharth now joins us from Ayodhya. Siddharth, you've been there, you're getting an understanding of the atmosphere. It's the 5th day of consecrations that have taken place, the ceremonies. The city is obviously now getting, is coming to terms really with its spiritual roots. People around the world are all focusing on Ayodhya. Give us a sense of, of the occasion.
A very good morning to you, Mark, and it's about to be 8:30 a.m. in the morning, but excitement here is just building up. The city is buzzing with excitement as consecration ceremony approaches near. Everyone is just very happy for the big day, January 22nd, and they are here, the tourists, the pilgrims, they are here, they're enjoying the cuisines here, they're enjoying the traditions here, which the city is offering to them. And, there's a sense of devotion in the air as I talk to you, Mark. But, apart from everything, security has been tightened here in the region. There have been different additional deployment of different units here, like paramilitary force, CRPF, RPF, ATS, to make sure that everything goes smooth and fine. For the big day, the authorities are leaving no stone unturned to make sure that the sacred event unfolds smoothly, safely, and securely, Mark.
Indeed, and also because, once the consecration takes place and the temple is open to the public, there's going to be a large influx of people over the next, let's say, few months and perhaps for years and years to come. So in that context, I mean, how is the infrastructure of the city developing?
Well, definitely, Mark, like I said, and when it comes to the influx of tourists, we are seeing with each passing day, there's an influx of tourists here in the city, which is further booming the business also here in the region. And when it comes to security, Mark, then there's a heavy security that has been deployed in and around the Ram Temple, because 22nd of January, we all know, is a big day. And the city has transformed for good, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of ease of commute. And when I talk about the infrastructure, I talk about the widening of roads, the street lights, and the graffiti that have been put alongside the walls as you enter Ayodhya, depicting the life of Lord Ram. So all in all, the environment here is very nice. It's vibrant. It's full of excitement as people here are just waiting for the big day, Mark. And also they are enjoying the rituals which were unfolded few days back and will go on till January 21st. And 22nd, as we all know, is Pran Pratishtha. And everyone, not just in the state, not just in the city, and not just in fact in India, but in the entire world, people are waiting for this big day. And around more than 7,000, guests have been invited here. So the security measures have been robust and comprehensive. Mark.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Siddharth Bharadwaj, joining us from Ayodhya, telling us that the sense of devotion is growing. The spirit of excitement for the consecration of the Ram Temple in the Indian city of Ayodhya has moved beyond borders, as we know. And in the United States, the Indian diaspora, along with many Hindu religious organizations, organized a car rally in Cincinnati. Over 50 cars decorated with bright yellow flags began the rally from a temple there. And the car rally was organized in support of this mega event that's going to take place on January 22nd. Let's take a look at other stories making the news now. The Indian Army is organizing a unique talent event in Kupwara for individuals aged 16 and above. The three-phase event involves registration, submission of a 3-minute video and on-ground auditions in Kupwara for selected participants. As India gears up for the 75th Republic Day parade, rehearsal at Kartavya Path in the national capital is underway for the 26th of January. The French President Emmanuel Macron will mark his presence as the chief guest on the occasion. It will be the 6th occasion when a French leader will be the chief guest at the Republic Day celebrations. And still to come here on DD India News Hour. Turkey's inaugural astronaut with 3 Europeans embarks on a historic journey to the International Space Station. Extreme weather wreaks havoc across the United States. And 4 new deep-sea octopus species have been discovered in a 100 square mile size area of Costa Rica.
Voice of a rising aspirational world. Stories of challenges, struggles and accomplishment. A world battling conflict, hunger and poverty. Embracing growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Mark Lynn. Here's a recap of our main stories. India's External Affairs Minister holds bilateral talks with his Maldivian counterpart. They discuss India-Maldives ties and also the withdrawal of Indian military personnel. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate the state-of-the-art Boeing India Engineering and Technology Center campus in the southern Indian city of Bengaluru. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reiterates the rejection of Palestinian statehood as part of any post-conflict scenario. And the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu is all set to host the first ever Khelo India Games. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 6th edition of the Khelo India Youth Games in Chennai. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told the United States that he objects to the establishment of any Palestinian statehood as part of any post-conflict scenario that did not guarantee Israel's security. In a nationally broadcast news conference on Thursday, Netanyahu emphasized that Israel must have security control over the entire territory west of the Jordan River.
For 30 years, I have been very consistent, and I say a simple thing. This conflict is not about the absence of a state, a Palestine state, but the existence of a state, a Jewish state. Therefore, I clarify that in any arrangement in the foreseeable future, with an accord or without an accord, the state of Israel must have security control over the entire territory west of the Jordan River. That's a necessary condition.
Iran-allied Houthi militia launched 2 anti-ship ballistic missiles at a U.S.-owned tanker ship on Thursday night that hit the water near the vessel. The latest incident caused no injuries or damage. The United States launched additional strikes early on Thursday, targeting 2 Houthi anti-ship missiles that were being deemed an imminent threat to shipping and U.S. naval vessels in the region. Earlier in the second attack this week this is on a U.S.-operated vessel in the region, the Genco Picardy came under attack in the Gulf of Aden late on Wednesday, sparking a fire on board and prompting the Indian Navy to rescue the crew. India diverted a warship deployed in the region to rescue 22 crew on board the Genco Picardy, including 9 Indians. The crew were all safe and the fire was extinguished. The Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary, Sabrina Singh, at a briefing on Thursday, said that the U.S. is not at war with Houthis in Yemen. She said that it is acting in self-defense in responding to attacks to vessels in the Red Sea.
No, we don't seek war. We don't think that we are at war. We don't want to see a regional war. The Houthis are the ones that continue to launch cruise missiles, anti-ship missiles at innocent mariners, at commercial vessels that are just transiting an area that sees 10 to 15% of the world's commerce. The U.S. is what we are doing with our partners is self-defense.
Tit-for-tat strikes between Iran and Pakistan have raised the risk of escalation in West Asia. Now, it also came a day after Iran launched attacks in Iraq and Syria, which it said targeted Israeli espionage and Islamic State operations.
Iran sent shockwaves around the region on Tuesday with a missile strike against what it described as hardline Sunni Muslim militants in southwest Pakistan. 2 days later, Pakistan in retaliation attacked what it said were separatist militants in Iran. The first airstrike on Iranian soil since the 1980-88 Iran-Iraq war.
This morning, Pakistan undertook a series of highly coordinated and specifically targeted precision military strikes against terrorist hideouts in Sistan-o-Baluchistan province of Iran.
Tuesday's strike was one of Iran's toughest cross-border assaults on the Sunni militant Jaish al-Adl group in Pakistan, which it says has links to Islamic State, though both the neighbors appear to want to try to contain the strains.
Pakistan is our neighborly country, our friend and our brother. It was not the target of Iran's drones and missiles. The so-called group Jaish al-Adl, which is an Iranian terrorist group, has taken refuge in Pakistani territory, and we have discussed this topic many times with high-ranking military, security and political officials of Pakistan. They have operated within Iran in the previous days.
According to Brookings Institution's Vice President and Director of Foreign Policy Suzanne Meloni, the move deepened worries about West Asia instability that have spread since the Israel-Hamas conflict erupted in October.
Well, I would expect that the frictions along the border with Pakistan are not likely to escalate. They will continue to create political tensions between the two governments, but both governments have other issues to deal with, and it would be highly unusual if this were to rise to a very significant breach or an escalation of the violence. I think the larger conflict that is consuming the Middle East is the one that is directly related to the war in Gaza, and the extent to which the Islamic Republic of Iran has mobilized its allies and proxies across the region to try to demonstrate that it can continue to wield influence and power without actually getting directly involved in the violence itself.
Iran's strikes are also intended to show its influence in the context of the regional crisis over Gaza.
North Korea's foreign minister concluded his visit to Russia and returned to his country on Friday. The foreign minister, Cho Sun-hu, held a rare meeting with the Russian President Vladimir Putin as well as part of closer cooperation between these two countries. Along with the government delegation, Cho held a meeting with his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, and discussed strengthening strategic and tactical cooperation. Cho's visit was the latest in a series of high-level exchanges since last year after it was criticized for allegedly shipping artillery and missiles to Russia. Though both North Korea and Russia deny these accusations, the Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov, in fact, has called North Korea a very important partner.
They discussed bilateral relations in general, the situation on Korean Peninsula, and an exchange of views on the most pressing international affairs. But the main emphasis is on the development of bilateral relations. And we have repeatedly said, and I am ready to repeat it again, that Democratic People's Republic of Korea is our very important partner. And we are aimed at further developing our relations in all areas, including sensitive ones.
The White House is keeping a close watch on recent exchanges between North Korea and Russia, which it terms as unprecedented. This is an unprecedented level of cooperation, they say, in the military sphere. The White House Senior Director for Arms Control, Pranay Vadi, on Thursday said that the nature of the security threat posed by North Korea, that is, could change drastically in the coming decade. Responding to the meeting, the top nuclear envoys from the United States, Japan and South Korea on Thursday held a trilateral meeting in Seoul, and they criticized North Korea's military cooperation with Russia. Jung Park, who's the U.S. senior official for North Korea said that Pyongyang's transfer of short-range ballistic missiles and other weapons to Russia for use against Ukraine demand attention and coordinated action.
We strongly condemn this launch, which violates multiple UN Security Council resolutions. The DPRK's continued development of its unlawful nuclear and ballistic missile programs, its transfer of ballistic missiles and other weapons to Russia for use against Ukraine, its ongoing malicious cyber activities against countries around the world, and its continuing human rights violations and abuses against its own people, all of this demands our attention and coordinated action.
As Ecuador wages war against gangs under the leadership of President Daniel Noboa, security officials cracked down on a prison facility, conducting raids and search-downs after a series of violent incidents in the past weeks, the most recent being the murder of the prosecutor Cesar Suarez.
A day after the murder of Ecuadorian prosecutor Cesar Suarez in Guayaquil, 2 men were arrested by the police officials suspected of killing Suarez. The late leader was handling prosecution charges against organized crimes in the Guayas. A rifle, 2 pistols, and 2 vehicles were seized during the raids by the police, while the search for 2 other shooters is still underway. Police claims the criminals belong to a notorious group already classified as a terrorist organization.
The national police hypothesized that the criminals belong to the terrorist group Chon Killers. The reason for the crime is still under investigation, but we hope to obtain soon the whereabouts of the other 2 assassins who were in the back of the vehicle that were incinerated.
Following the nationwide violent outbreak in Ecuador, a raid was conducted by the security forces at Guayaquil prison. Video footage showed inmates face down on the ground as guards carried out inspections. The Ecuadorian army and police carried out several prison raids throughout the country since last week after a violent outbreak. Bureau reports, DT India.
The High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, called on the chief prelates of Malwata and Asrigya Buddhist monasteries in Sri Lanka's Kandy today. He sought blessings for the people of India and Sri Lanka and stronger relations between the 2 countries. Jha also prayed at the temple of the sacred tooth relic at the Kataragama Davalaya at Kandy. Let's take a look now at other stories making news around the world. Scientists in Schmidt Ocean Institute, they have discovered at least 4 new deep-sea octopus species in a 100 square mile sized area. This is off Costa Rica. The international science team discovered the new species during 2 2023 expeditions which were near the Pacific coast of Costa Rica. Dozens of worshippers braved a snowstorm and ice-cold pond waters near Russia's capital on Thursday to celebrate the Orthodox Epiphany. People immersed themselves in the cold, dark water as temperatures in Moscow were as low as -5 degrees Celsius. The Russian Orthodox Church marks the Epiphany on January 19. But celebrations start a day before. A remarkable collection of Winston Churchill's memorabilia will showcase at the 70th Winter Show in New York. It will run from January 19 to 28. The collection, sold individually, is regarded as one of the finest private collections of Churchill-related items. The historical drama Oppenheimer led nominations for the BAFTA Awards on Thursday, securing 13 nods. The Gothic comedy Poor Things received 11 nods, while Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon received 9 nominations. Barbie, starring Margot Robbie, was nominated in 5 categories. Britain's top movie awards will take place in London on the 18th of February. Still to come here on DD India News Hour. Argentina nets the first monthly trade surplus in December in nearly a year. An Indian duo of Satvik Chirag continue to win at the India Open Super Series 750 Series. Pranoy crashes the budding shuttler Prinanshu Rajawat. And Austrian freestyle mountain bike rider Fabio Wibmer takes on the legendary striped ski slope in a dream come true attempt.
We are taking up the legend of our great epic, the Ramayana, and how it has influenced so many parts of Asia and beyond.
In Indonesia, Thailand, Laos,
Cambodia,
Cambodia,
yes.
Singapore, Malaysia, you can think of all these areas where Ramayana is like, you know, it's just a living thing. And their ballets and their dances and the music, they are all performing. It is just not itihasa alone, history alone, but it's a living being which has a place in every heart.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Mark Lynn. The US stocks gained ground on Thursday as investors wrestled over whether to embrace the robust US labor market data as a sign of economic strength that also weakens the likelihood that the Federal Reserve could lower its key policy rate as early as March. All three major US stock indices, they were higher, with a solid rally in tech-related shares favoring the NASDAQ. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.54% and the S&P 500 gained 0.88%. The Nasdaq Composite added 1.35%. Also, the Asian stock surged, buoyed by a Wall Street rally, propelled by strong performances in the tech sector. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 climbed 1.56%, reaching 36,018.35, and the broader Topix gained 0.66%, closing at 2,508.61. South Korea's Kospi strengthened by 1.14%, reaching 2,467.96. Argentina posted a trade surplus of $1.02 billion in December and closed last year with a $6.93 billion deficit. In December, Argentina registered nearly $5.3 billion in exports and $4.3 billion in imports, helping swing the country's trade balance to its first monthly surplus since last February. Argentina boasted a trade surplus of $6.9 billion in 2022. The 6th edition of the Kalo India Youth Games is all set to witness a glittering opening ceremony in South India. The event will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Chennai. Here's a report that tells you about the 6th edition of the Kalo India Youth Games. And giving us this report live, in fact, is Deepika Mehto, who's joining us from Chennai with more on the games. Deepika, what's unique about the Kalo India Youth Games this time around?
Good morning, Mark. If we talk about the 6th edition of Kalo India Youth Games, there are many firsts. First of all, this is the very first time that Kalo India has come to Tamil Nadu, the southern part of the country, India. So it makes it really more impressive, and players are really excited to welcome Kalo India Youth Games that motivates players from the grassroots level and give them a platform with right kind of conditioning and infrastructure that they need to progress. And especially when we consider this particular year, which is an Olympic year, when the players are looking forward to their senior players, this Khelo India Youth Games provides them a perfect opportunity along with exposure as they are telecasting the event across various media platforms and also aggressively pushing it on social media. So this is the first aspect of it. Secondly, when we talk about the motivation of player, that how government is playing a key role. So it is really interesting to know that this is a flagship initiative of the government of India, and apart from this, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will himself today come and inaugurate the 6th edition of Khelo India Youth Games. The third very important aspect of this very edition of Khelo India Youth Games, that women empowerment has got a center stage. If you would look at the mascot of this particular Khelo India Youth Games, it is Veera Mangai, the lady who fought the freedom struggle war and came out with flying colors. She is known for her prowess, she is known for her dignity as well. And here all the women participants who are coming, they are really excited and motivated to see such great mascot and such huge cutouts of mascots that have been put across the entire stadium, Mark. So this is what makes it even more beautiful.
And any young talent that we should be looking out for?
There are many young talents, and especially this entire Khelo India Youth Games is all about the young talents because the youth category is participating. Yesterday, Kabaddi matches were held and Tamil Nadu was also participating. However, Haryana beat Tamil Nadu in both the sessions, that is in both categories rather, that is in men's and women's. However, Tamil Nadu would be looking forward to make giant strides when we talk about their indigenous sports. They are really looking forward to come out with flying colors in the sport of gymnastics and Malakhamb as well, Mark. So let's see how the teams are faring across. In the last very events, we've seen the participation of even 8-year young players.
Yes,
so this time around also we are expecting some new benchmarks.
Yes, thanks a lot, Deepika Mehto, joining us from Chennai with the latest. In badminton, HS Pranoy defeated fellow Indian Priyanshu Rajawat in a thrilling 3-game match, 20-22, 21-14, 21-14. in the men's singles pre-quarterfinals of the India Open Super 750 series. Chirag Shetty and Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy, they edged into the men's doubles quarterfinals, defeating Chinese Taipei's Lu Qing Yao and Yang Po Han, 21-14, 21-15. The Indian duo will now face Anders Shahrukh and also Anders Shahrukh Rasmussen and Kim Astrup of Denmark for a semi-final spot. Fabio Wibmer rode his mountain bike down the legendary Streifski Piste in Austria early on January. And the Austrian freestyle mountain biker was delighted to finally live out his dream of riding down this fearsome piste, which is the Streifpiste, and the descent in fact saw him reach a speed of 107 kilometers per hour and also landed multiple jumps, including one of 14 meters in height and another of 36 meters in length. And with that daredevilry, let's conclude. That's all we have in this edition of DD India News Hour. Let's know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. My name is Mark Lynn. From all of us here, thanks very much for watching DD India News Hour. Namaskar.